Alright, what's up everybody, my name is Wolfpack, and I'm back with another episode of my Fallout 4 playthrough. The last couple of episodes, I pretty much spent helping out the people of Far Harbor, and, well, the original plan for today's episode was going to follow a similar pattern. We were going to finish the Mariner's story by completing her quest, The Great Hunt. However, I ran into a slight problem with that particular quest, as I already recorded this episode, or at least tried to and started to, so this is, I guess, my second take. Reason being, the Mariner is refusing to start her quest. Anytime I try talking to her, she just responds with,
"Shouldn't take too long to work the carapaces into the harbor."
yeah, and she says that anytime I interact with her, regardless of how much in-game time has passed, and when we go out front to check out the hull's defenses, you can see that they're already fully upgraded. They already got the additional spikes, they got the parts in the MS Azalea, and you can see the Mylar carapaces are also already set up. And I tried looking it up on like Google and stuff to see if anybody else ran into the same problem that I'm running into, and to no avail. I am alone in this issue. So Fallout 4 is just having a Fallout 4 Bethesda moment, which really sucks because The Great Hunt is one of my favorite quests in Far Harbor, and the Mariner's got a good story that is a bit sad, so it is unfortunate we can't dive into that and wrap things up there. But as Todd Howard says, it just works. So maybe we'll get lucky and the quest will just randomly trigger or start later in this video or in a future episode, and then we can go back and actually do the quest. But anyway, as they say, the show must go on. So the new plan for today's episode is we are going to finally visit Acadia. And here we are, Acadia. So let's head on up and go inside. Okay, Acadia's a little smaller on the inside than I would have thought, but this guy looks important.
When I first climbed this mountain above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you as long as you welcome us.
Okay. Well, I came here looking for Kasumi Nakano.
Really? I'm impressed. Few would brave the kind of journey you've had for the sake of someone else. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like.
Okay.
Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
We're not answering any more questions until you play straight with us.
Yeah.
Just who the hell are you, really? There's only one synth with that kind of face and a mind of his own. And I only see him when I look in a mirror.
You tell him, Nick.
It can't be you.
Don't give me that. What are you trying to pull? I've never seen you before in my life.
Please, if you're willing to give me a chance, I can explain.
Alright, Dima, we'll humor you. Keep talking.
This all started over a century ago, when we were first created. We were prototypes, Nick. The first synths capable of independent thinking and judgment.
Keep talking.
One of the Institute's experiments had to do with how our brains could process personality. If we could handle individualized feelings and behaviors. I was allowed to develop mine based on experience. But with you, they wanted to try transferring an entire personality into you. It took several attempts before the personality imprint worked. I saw you wake up not knowing who or what you were so many times. I couldn't let them do it to you anymore. We were the only two prototypes they made. I literally saw myself in you. You were my brother, Nick. I helped you escape the Institute. We left together.
If I were your brother, I'd remember.
That's where you'd be wrong. This happened over a century ago. There's only so much memory that can fit into the prototype brains we have.
I've heard enough. I think you and I need to talk about this. Maybe not now, though.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. We can talk a bit later.
Nick, I don't need you to believe me. I'm just glad to see you again. Whenever you're ready, I'll be here. Now, about young Kasumi. It's important that you understand exactly why she's here. I asked you before if you think she's really a synth. If you could indulge me with an answer.
Well, I do not think she is a synth. My logic behind this is, well, Kasumi is an essential character, meaning she cannot be killed by us. She can, however, die when either the Brotherhood of Steel or the Institute assault Acadia, in which Kasumi will die in
Careful with your
Acadia's
words.
defense, and when she
Admiral.
does, there is no synth component on her body. Now yes, there are a couple of other synths in the game that don't drop a synth component, such as Glory in the Railroad, but I think those other ones might just be developer oversights. Another point to be made is both of her parents are very adamant about
Take your
Kasumi
time.
being human, and them raising her from birth and all that. And it wouldn't really make much sense for her to be an Institute synth spy, as they know who they are and why they are there. It also wouldn't make much sense for Kasumi to be a synth, as she's not a full-grown adult just yet, and the Institute does not make child synths, with the exception of the child Sean, but he was only created at the request of Father, the leader of the Institute, although Dr. Madison Lee
Take your
expresses her
time.
opinions on why a child synth is unnecessary and not needed for any research or anything like that. The last point I'd like to make, piggybacking off of what I just said about her not being a full-grown adult, her frontal lobe is not fully developed, so she can easily be manipulated
with
by
your
other
words.
people, especially
Admiral.
someone as manipulative as Dima. He even tries to convince us as the player that we are a synth, and you're very restricted with how far back you can remember in your dialogue choices, but there are a lot, and I mean a lot of other points in the game where you remember a lot of things pre-war, such as certain commercials, comic books, comic book characters, actors, and even an
Careful with
ugly
your
girl you
words.
dated in college. So long story short, the player character is not a synth, and neither is Kasumi. The story and the setup is great, and the reason why everybody loves Far Harbor, but ultimately, like I said, I do not believe she is a synth.
But imagine what it means if you're wrong. If Kasumi is a synth, then she doesn't have a family. She never had one. Think about how she must feel. None of us take this transition lightly. She's facing the possibility of her entire life being a lie. That someone stripped her very identity from her and made her into something she isn't. I want you to understand that before you see her. She has a chance here to live as a synth, not hiding, not pretending to be something else. One more question, if you'll indulge me. You're here for Kasumi, but I suspect there could be another reason you came to us. Tell
No,
me,
I'm only here for
are
Kasumi.
you a synth?
As I said earlier, no. Me as the player character, I am not a synth, but if I squint real hard in the mirror, sometimes I look like somebody else.
I'm afraid when I try that trick, nothing really changes. I know it might seem impossible that you could be a synth, but tell me, what's the first thing you can remember?
And as I said earlier, we don't really have very many choices, partially as a result of Fallout 4's very restrictive 4-choice dialogue system. So really the only options you have is, well, this one right here and this one right here. Those are the only options you have for anything you remember pre-war, like as far back as you can remember. But we'll go with this one. I remember being in my house the day the bombs fell. We ran to the vault, we were frozen, and I was the only survivor.
No memories before then? Just a single day, and then waking up alone? We so easily accept what's presented to us as the truth, don't we? Isn't it funny how a memory can feel like a whole different reality? People, places, even sounds and colors can change. Or someone else has changed them. I won't lie to you. There will always be other explanations. Trauma, disease, the background radiation. They all take their toll on the mind. But I can promise you that we will accept you, no matter what you decide you are.
Well, I appreciate it, Dima, but I think I've heard enough for now. Can you tell me where Kasumi is?
Of course. Kasumi is usually working down below. You can see her whenever you like. Acadia is open to you. Feel free to walk the grounds. Introduce yourself to my co-founders, Faraday and Chase. Did you need anything else before you go?
Do you think you could tell me a bit more about this place, Acadia?
All I want is to bring as many synths here as I can, and give them a chance to know what they really are. To embrace it. Beyond that, we just want to live in peace. I don't have any grand plans for expansion. Just existing as we are now is enough. Was there anything else?
Okay, okay. So is everyone here in Acadia a synth?
Yes. Either they were escapees we managed to find before the Institute could, or they were victims of a mind wipe, and we revealed the truth to them.
Oh.
You are from the Commonwealth, like Kasumi, yes?
Yes.
I'm sure you've had your own experiences with my kind.
Well, I know Nick, obviously.
Yes. Of course. What else can I do for you?
Well, I suppose we should get going.
Of course.
Perhaps we're in there a long time. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. You worry too much.
Sometimes I feel like you don't worry enough. You know we blew 3 more relays this week. I'm coming in. You stay right there.
Ooh, let's see what's going on with this here. We also started the quest, Acadian Deals.
I was having a hard enough time keeping up with repairs before all this nonsense with the atom lunatics.
They're nothing you need to be concerned about.
It's not them. I'm concerned about you, Dima. You can't solve all the world's problems. Certainly not all at once.
Dearest Faraday, relax. All will be fine.
Interesting, interesting. Well, Faraday is one of the people we need to introduce ourselves to.
You've talked to Dima. You know why we're here. I certainly hope that you'll consider helping us. Dima's vision is worth fighting for.
Well, you're not wrong. It is a good cause. Since definitely deserve a chance to be safe, just like everyone else. So I'll help out if I can.
It's so good to hear that. Very encouraging. Please, make sure Dima knows that as well.
He probably
He's
heard
put
me,
so
since he's
much
standing
of
like 5 feet
himself
away
into
from
this.
us.
All his time and energy devoted to helping others. He never stops to think of himself. Sometimes I worry about, well, if I wasn't here to make sure his equipment is all functional. And that's not even mentioning maintaining the fog condensers. So many things to keep track of.
Well, seems like he's lucky to have you helping.
Thank you. That's very kind.
So what can you tell me about the fog condensers?
Oh, those? Dima and I designed them when it became clear the fog was only getting worse. They're effective, but have such a limited range. Dima insisted we provide them to the people of Far Harbor, and I'm so glad we did. Without the condensers, I'm not sure they'd have anywhere left.
Well, that's awfully nice of you all, but if there's anything I can ever do to help out, just let me know.
Well, if you're determined to help, there is something you could do. It's likely somewhat dangerous, though, so I understand if you'd rather not.
Okay.
There's a boat along the coast of the island.
Oh.
It was transporting some hardware we needed. Storage drives.
Oh, okay.
The
Are you
boat never
facing in the
finished
direction
trip,
of the boat?
You see. So the drives are still out there. I could really use them here for extra parts, if nothing else. My understanding is that the boat wrecked southwest of here. So, does this sound like something you could handle?
Oh, definitely for sure. But do you know what happened to the boat and why it didn't make it?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Trappers, fog crawlers, there's no end to what's out there. And what might still be out there.
Okay,
The point
okay.
is that we already lost someone once. And I don't want to see that happen again. So, are you up for it?
Well, as I said, sure thing, Faraday. I'll get those drives for you.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
And that starts the quest, Data Recovery. Now let's head down here and meet up with Kasumi. So Dima said Kasumi is normally working down here, so we'll see if we can find wherever she's at. Ah, this might be her over here. You're Kasumi Nakano, right?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
Well, I'm a detective, and I was hired to find you.
You're a what? You came all this way for me?
You
That's
left
right.
without telling your folks why. You must have known they'd be worried.
Look, my mom and dad, I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back. Not if they knew the truth.
Kasumi, listen to me. You're not a synth.
Believe me, I've thought about that. How you can never really know. But it just answers so many questions. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them. How would that conversation have gone anyway? I've been lying to you this whole time? Your real daughter is dead and I replaced her?
You haven't replaced anyone. Kenji and Rei are still your parents.
I really wish that was true. If I wasn't a synth, things would be so much simpler. Acadia isn't what I thought it was. There's more going on here than just the refuge. But I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it. I've been running long enough.
Interesting. What kind of problem is there in Acadia?
It's a long story. I just have to figure out how to... Wait, you find things, track down answers. That's what you do, right?
Yep.
That's why you came after me.
Yeah.
What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret
Ooh.
here, on this island. Something way more important than just one lost girl.
Alright, I'm listening.
Okay, where to begin? You saw all those computers that Dima's hooked up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
They hold his memories, or offload data from his brain. Or maybe some combination of both? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them, and, you know, I got curious. There's like a century's worth of life experiences in there, and that's when I see it. Data models Dima has been making. One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if Dima is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island.
Interesting.
We should get to the bottom of this. If Dima is putting on an act, we need to know.
Yeah, you said it, Nick. Well, I'll help if I can, but that's not much to go on.
I know. I've been working on that, but I haven't had much luck. I keep seeing Dima, Faraday, and Chase head into the laboratory at the other end of the hall. Then they come out later looking like they've been arguing. There's actually a storage space right next to there. It'd be a perfect spot to hide and eavesdrop, but it's been locked up. I've also tried breaking into Faraday's terminal, since he and Dima are so close, but the security on it is crazy.
Eavesdropping on the next meeting sounds like our best bet. I'll see if I can find a way inside that room.
Okay. Good luck, and come back as soon as you found anything.
From
Great,
one
sounds
case
good.
to a new one. It's never easy for us, is it?
You said it again, Nick. Storage room at the end of the hall, she said. There's a note here we could take a look at. This storage room is for the general goods store. It's not a free-for-all. I'm not working with much to begin with, so quit taking things. If you need to get in here, come by the store. I'm going to say no, but you can ask all you want. Cog. And then I suppose we'll leave that there, and then we could just unlock this. And there we go. Got that open.
Done.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you. And now, we simply just hide and wait right here. Ooh, here they come.
We need to accomplish this without bloodshed. Far Harbor and the children of Adam have a right to exist on this island, the same as us.
They're going to kill each other, Dima. There's no stopping it. We need to pick a side now.
Haven't we already picked a side? Building the fog condensers around Far Harbor wasn't exactly a neutral act.
We couldn't stand by and let the people of this island die to the fog.
Just like you couldn't just leave the Cult of Adam without a home? Giving them the submarine base was a mistake. The nucleus, as they're calling it, is basically one big fortified position.
Far Harbor had cast them out. They have strange beliefs, but they have always accepted us for what we are. And Confessor Martin was a friend.
Well, the new Confessor isn't. High Confessor Tectus is an unstable megalomaniac, and he's gonna keep threatening us as long as we're helping Far Harbor.
Guys, can we talk about the elephant in the room? We keep dancing around it.
My old memory banks in the submarine base.
I can't believe you never told me about those. I have to wait until they become a security risk.
I know how it looks in hindsight, but at the time, it was an act of trust. I was honestly more worried they'd accidentally trip the pre-war security and get hurt, giving the children my old home, allowing them to safeguard my old memories. I thought our people would be working together.
Just how secure are the banks? How long do we have? And what's in them?
I've gone over this before, Chase. I don't know what's in them. That's how it works. It's as close to forgetting something as I have, but I've run some projections of worst-case scenarios. If we do nothing and the wrong knowledge falls in the wrong hands...
So send me over there. I'll be in and out in a day.
We can't risk it. They know you're from Acadia. If you're caught, or even seen, then it's war.
We should at least prepare her to go in. We're running out of options. I say we tell her how to crack into the memory banks.
You've been working on this without me?
It came up in a private moment, Chase. But yes, we've been writing a program that will let you access and download my memories. It's not going to be like a normal hack. You'll be breaking through a version of my own mental network. It'll consider you to be an intruder. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded that will help guide you through it. I'm afraid it's difficult to explain without seeing it for yourself.
I'm finishing up some tweaks to the program right now. I'll leave a copy of it for you on my desk when I'm done.
Get the program, use it to break into the memory banks. Got it.
Hopefully you won't have to. We'll keep monitoring the situation. I only want you going in if we have no other choice.
Okay.
He has got his fingers everywhere on this island. And whatever's in his memories isn't something we can wait for someone else to find.
You're right on the money, Nick, and I think there is something we could do about it. Now, Faraday said he left the program in his office next to his terminal, so I don't suppose we can just slip on in here and grab that real quick. Now, we could report back to Kasumi, but I think we are going to confront Dima about his memories instead.
What can I do for you?
Well, I know you left some of your memories behind in an old submarine base that you're worried the children of Adam will get them.
You've been busy. I was hoping you were taking your time learning more about us. Huh. I suppose you have.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is an opportunity for both of us. I can't send any of my people without risking the children of Adam linking them back to Acadia. But you're new to the island.
Alright, I'm listening.
Before I begin, how much do you know? Did you have any questions for me? About Far Harbor, the children of Adam, or my memories?
I know all I need to.
Then my plan is simple. Pose as a recruit and infiltrate the children of Adam. Gain access to their base. In the old command center, guarded by some pre-war security measures, you'll find my memory banks. I'll give you the program you need in order to access my memories. Bring me anything you find. It's not going to be like a normal hack. You'll be breaking through a version of my own mental network. It'll consider you to be an intruder. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded that will help guide you through it. I'm afraid it's difficult to explain without seeing it for yourself.
Actually, I already have the program. I was thorough.
Well, I guess that just means I've picked the right person for the job. One more thing before you leave. Whatever you do, don't assault the children of Adam directly. Our ultimate goal must be to bring peace. If you attack them, they'll consider themselves at war with the outside world.
If we find anything suspicious in those memories of yours, we'll be back. Count on it.
Yep. Just like what Nick said. Alright, so now we are going to need to head on over to the nucleus where the children of Adam are at. But before we do, let's actually see if Chase has got anything for us. Hello there, Chase. We haven't met before.
You track Kasumi here. I'm impressed. Perhaps not as quietly or efficiently as possible, but thankfully she was never in any real danger. I'm afraid your journey was unnecessary.
I wanted to see for myself that she's safe. Plus, I was hired to do so.
You have my word. Acadia is a safe haven for synths. Were it not, I would not have aided anyone in reaching it. Every synth I've tracked down, every synth convinced to come here, has been assured that he or she will come to no harm. My job is to make sure they all remain safe, no matter what. Understand?
I don't suppose you could tell me how you managed to track down synths and bring them here?
I have a network of contacts throughout the area. Some from my time with the Institute, some after. I know the Institute's tactics, and use that to my advantage. You have Dima's blessing, so by all means, make yourself comfortable.
Okay. So what's your story?
I used to work for the Institute, returning synths that had escaped. I was tracking a synth and instead found Dima. He convinced me of the truth and the error of my ways.
Not sure why she just kicked me out of the conversation,
Hi.
but
Did you need something?
yeah, I was gonna offer to help you, but then you kicked me out of your conversation after I asked you what your story was, so I guess we don't care what your story is. You know, we know you're an Institute courser, or you used to be, and then you were convinced by Dima to join him. You're in Acadia, so I guess that's all we need to know. But anyway, I'd like to help you if I can. If there's anything I could do, just let me know.
Actually, as a matter of fact, there is. If you're serious about contributing, well, we've got a situation I need someone to look into.
Okay.
We've had some experience traveling around the island, so you may be decently equipped to handle it.
Alright, well, what's the problem?
We were expecting a new synth to arrive, and he should have been here by now. There's been no sign of him, and I'm concerned that he might have become lost on the way here.
Do you have any leads on where he might be?
You should start by talking to Brooks in Far Harbor. He's one of us, a synth. He's the one who meets the new arrivals and gets them started on the journey here. Of course, he's not likely to tell you anything without proof that you're working for me. If he doesn't cooperate, tell him that his designation is L792. That should convince him.
Okay.
That's as much help as I can give you for now. Please, hurry. If that synth is out there alone, he won't last long.
Alright, well, I suppose we can help you out with that if we can. But before we head on out into Far Harbor to do any of that business, let's report back to Kasumi and let her know what we found. Alright, Kasumi, I found out that Dima has some of his old memories in the nucleus, you know, the submarine where the children of Adam live, and he's worried about what they might find on him.
So, is that what those death projections were about? It wasn't Dima planning to destroy the island. He's worried the children of Adam will. Or is he still hiding something? What could be in those memories that he would leave them behind? Is there really something in them that's dangerous?
I don't know,
Do you
but
have a
we'll
way
find
in?
out.
Into his memories? Assuming you can get past the children of Adam, of course.
Yes, I do. I got this program that Faraday and Dima wrote, and it's supposed to help me access his memory banks.
Really? How would that work? When I was taking a peek in the computers he has here, Dima was hooked up to his chair. I was just tapping into it. I wonder if you'll need to, connect to the old banks the way he does? Some kind of connection between your head and the computer. Oh, but
Maybe.
that's it. And then Faraday's program would be translating Dima's thoughts and data, helping you through any security guarding it. I'm sorry, I'm making assumptions. It's just, well, it's a little exciting, isn't it?
Yeah?
You'll let me know what you find? I'll keep an eye on things here.
Sounds good. I'll get Dima's memories, and then we'll figure things out from there.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. And with that, we complete the quest where you belong, and that does not push us into the next level, unfortunate. But with that, I am going to call the episode here. I know the episode is a little bit shorter than usual, but, as I said in the intro of the video, well, I planned on this episode being a little bit different. I was going to have this happen on next episode, but then because the Great Hunt didn't want to start because the Mariner's a little broken with her scripting, that is probably not going to end up happening at all, so instead we did this. So with that, next episode, we are going to actually help out a little bit around Acadia and start doing some of those side quests around here. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate you dropping a like on, and if you happen to be new to my channel, I would also appreciate you subscribing. If you're curious or you want to know any of the mods that I'm using, excuse me, dog meat, there is a link to a Google document that I put together in the description with all of the links to all of the mods, organized by mod category to make it easier for you to find them. I also have an invite link to my community Discord server in case you want to join that as well. Other than that, take care, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, or whatever time it is for you and whatever time zone you are in, and I will catch you all later. Delta Wolf, out.